Yoga video take 1. Click.
Hi yoga lovers, and welcome to another video for our yoga flow. So this yoga flow, this term, I've been doing anatomy of balance. So this is working with the supporting muscles that help us to balance better. So this flow is all about that. It's not about creating the perfect balance. If you wobble and fall over, it's fine, just keep coming back. And I'm going to show you all the ways that we can help improve. 2 helpers with me doing the videoing today and the sound, so we're having some fun with this one. I'm going to come to the floor because that's where it starts without all fours. I'm just going to go through the modifications before we actually do the flow so you can see how to change it around for you. So the first one is tabletop. We start here with fingers spread, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, creating a nice balance through the back and spine. Just checking with your head and neck, make sure it's nice and long in the neck. And then we take our awareness to the feet. You might want to tuck under the toes, or you can keep those feet flat, your choice. So we're working to tiger stretch, that's the first pose. And this is a balance in itself. So we take an opposite stretch through one arm and one leg, and as you do this you're still trying to create this line, so we're not looking along and creasing into the neck, we're keeping nice and long through the neck, and then we curl it in. So as we exhale we're going to draw that into the tiger stretch, a bit like a cat pose. So we squeeze it in and then we send it out. We're doing 2 of those, and it's really important when you're working in this tiger stretch is that we don't lift through the hip, so we're not opening up this hip, we keep the hip facing down towards the floor, and that's one of our strength and support for balance. So really important that we keep that foot facing down, the knee down, the hip down to the floor, so really nice and strong in the socket. Same with the arm, so although we're reaching, we don't want to be kind of lifting that up, we want to keep that nice line and kind of plug the shoulder back into the socket, keeping it nice and strong. So that's our first pose, and then we're going from that into our archer pose, which is where we take the foot back and we're just resting onto the inside of the foot, and we shift nice and slowly. There's time in this pose to shift that over onto one side. We're trying to get a nice stack through the shoulders so we can lift up in this way. So we might look up towards that hand, we might look across. If balance is really off, we keep looking down towards the floor. So the trick is here, as you come into this, nice wide fingers, nice wide base there to support. We maybe take that hand a little to the side so we've got that balance as we open up. So from this tiger stretch, it might be that you don't want to take that foot all the way up. So this is your modification, reaching through with the one arm and the opposite leg, the foot just stays on the floor. You might just bring it back to all fours, or you might bring the hand down and then tuck the knee under. So there's your modification for that. So going on into our archer, we're opening out, keeping a nice balance there to a side arm balance, either looking up towards the ceiling or keeping down towards the floor. And then this lovely movement through, we bring the knee forward through to our Kapotasana, pigeon pose. So we stretch back through the foot. Again, you can be up on the toes or on the top of the foot. So the pigeon pose, because it's quite strong, Kapotasana, it may be that you just keep up here, high up, especially for knees, hips, if you just want to kind of keep that up and lift the chest through, so you make that nice slope through with the back. Or you might be able to sit back towards sitting onto the heel. You might be here with the hands flat, wrists are feeling it, come to knuckles, we lift through the chest. There's our pigeon pose. So this lovely little sweep through that I'm doing through to pyramid is achieved by tucking under the back foot first of all, so that we can get ready to push back. So we send it back and then roll onto the front foot, and then we sweep those hands back. When we move through to pyramid, we want to have a nice steady base because we're going to come up to standing, and that's where first of our standing balances happen. So it may be that you need to widen the gait, so take one foot out a little when you get there if you need it, shift that weight, and then we roll up into our pyramid. So we're opening the feet are facing forward, we start to straighten the legs. It's okay to keep a little bit of softness there. We let go of the head and neck, and then we come up, bringing the arms up to shoulder level and then sweeping them behind, and we take this lift. So this is where we're hopefully nice and stable, and if we started with those feet down here and kind of working up into a tightrope, we're going to be wobbling all over when we come back up. So we want to be nice width between the feet. Think tram lines rather than tightrope. And then we're going to bring a lift through to the front of the chest to bring our back bend in on pyramid, and we work forward towards that front leg. So you can go just a little way, halfway, keep nice and long through the neck, or you can take that down. You can soften that front knee and work into that stretch with the knee bend, your choice. Now this is the balance, the strong balance that we're working on in this flow, and it's the archer. It's so good for balance. So it works really strongly into the hips. So as we shift the weight forward onto this front leg, we take the other leg up. We're going to take a sweep up. Now you can just stand here and pause here if you find that enough for the balance. So what we'll be working on this term is plugging into the feet, creating that first stable base, and then finding it in the hip, so we're not kind of sinking into the hip, we're lifting up through the hip. Then we've got our stabilizing muscles all around here. As we lift the arms, they engage, so we've got this strength. And then at the head, where's the head at? So if we're kind of looking down in this way, we're going to find that weight of the head is going to put us off balance. So we're looking dead ahead, finding our focal point and keeping that balance. So it may be that you just come to here, or you might be able to open into archer pose. Imagine you're kind of holding onto your bow, and you could gently draw back the strings and bring that back to the shoulder. And it may be that you can take that arm behind. As soon as you're moving the head, as soon as you're moving the arms out, you're going to throw yourself off balance. Okay, so when we're balancing, it's really important we get that centre line, that centre of gravity. So when we take the weight onto one leg, we're still trying to keep that feeling of being on two. So we plug into the heel, the ball of the foot, like a 3-pin plug. We plug that in, light in the toes. That's where the energy comes from the feet, from the ground. We're grounding, rooting, and we're drawing that upward current of energy up through the knees. A little bit of softness, just a micro bend in the knees. And then we've got our pelvis in the right place, so we're not kind of sticking the bum out or too far forward. We've got our level pelvis, a level bowl. And then from there we lift. Keep those stabilizer muscles working, so it's not like a really strong squeeze it into the belly and hold the core. They already work. The stabilizer muscles will kick in as soon as we raise the arms. So we've got that work going on, but we're nice and tall. And we check in with the head and neck, so we're not dropping into the head, keeping nice and long through the back of the head, so you can visualize a golden thread coming out of the crown of the head. So we're keeping that nice centre of gravity, so we're not going to kind of topple over, and we're keeping that weight balance when we lift the foot on that one side in the same equal way that we do when we've got both feet down. So just because we've took the foot up, we're not going to sink into the hip, change our position. We're going to keep nice and lifted through the body, keep that balance. So archer pose is really good for strengthening those hip muscles and of course the foot, the leg muscles, all of our supporting muscles for balance. The trouble is, it's a twist at the same time. So it's got a little twist. As we move into archer balance, we lift the knee, we maybe just keep those arms forward, or we take hold of our bow, we draw the strings back, maybe we're still looking forward and we keep that balance. Or maybe when we take that hand back and draw our strings, maybe we're looking away with that, so we're increasing that twist. We may even take that arm out. So this is our full archer balance. It's quite strong, your choice. If you're wobbling, the next part's for you, because we're going to just drop out of it, come side on and then drop down to the floor. So at any point you can drop out of that balance. And the last pose is we come into a squat, so we bring the foot wide onto the mat a little so we can get back in. So Malasana, our squat, we come down. Squatting's great for the hips, for the back. So we bring the hand down, make it a little twist, we draw up, and then to the other side. So it might be squatting's not for you, you come from that forward fold, you just bring the legs in, you can rest onto the thighs, you can still do a nice twist here to open up, keep those knees soft, and you open up into the twist. And then we come back down and go through the whole thing again. So we're going to go through the whole flow now. Use the modifications that work for you and enjoy. This is the anatomy of balance flow. Okay, so we start at the floor in all fours. Nice long spine. Shoulders over wrists. And just as you pause here, just gather that lift into the belly, towards the spine. Keep a nice neutral spine. And then we reach out through the right arm, left leg. Inhale. And then exhale, draw that into the centre. Then inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, draw it in. We'll just do 2. Bring it back to all fours. Switch it over to the other side. Exhaling, drawing in, tucking into your centre. Inhaling, stretching out. So we're going to go to the right side first. We'll take that right foot back onto the inside of the foot. Check in with your left arm, maybe move it a little to get your balance. Open up into Archer. And then we sweep that right knee forward into our Kapotasana pigeon pose. We stretch back, slide back through that left leg. Lift into that back bend. Place the palms, tuck under that back foot and gently roll back. And just adjust foot space so you've got room for your balance. And then we open that out, letting go of the back of the neck, so nice and long. Inhale. Take that round the back. So interlink the fingers and lift through the chest. Drop the shoulders. Just take a little squeeze into those shoulder blades. And then as you exhale next time, send it nice and long down towards the floor, letting go of the head and neck. As you inhale, bringing that back up. And then here we go through to the Archer balance. So we find our balance on the right foot. You reach through, bringing that left leg up. Find your focal point, the head. And then open that out through the left arm. Either just come into the shoulder or take it all the way back. Bring that back through. And then sweep it to the side and drop into your forward fold. Soften those knees. Take that right foot out to the edge of the mat. Bring it into your squat. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then we walk forward, back to our all fours. Nice long spine again, finding that all fours. So we're just going to go to the other side now. So starting our nice long spine. We'll work from the left side. So we inhale, reach through that left arm, right leg. As we exhale, pull that in. So think nice long line from the crown of the head down to that back heel. And then pulling it in, squeezing into the belly. And then we send it back to all fours, switch over to the other side. Inhaling, reaching out. Exhaling, pulling it in. And one more. So we're going to the other side on our arch balance. So we bring that left foot inside of the foot, down, and then open up. See if we can stack those shoulders as you open that left arm towards the ceiling. Bring it down, and we squeeze that left foot through, slide back, lift up through the chest, drop the shoulder, and then you can tuck under that back foot straight away. When you come back to this roll, you need to do that, so you can bring yourself back into pyramid. Adjust the foot. Open up into your pyramid stretch, just letting go of the head and neck. And then we'll bring that up. Hands around the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it forward. develop the grip on the toes, keep nice and light. Bring that back up. Okay, let's try that arch of balance one more time. So send it through, right knee lifting, maybe you're just holding here and keeping that space. Maybe you're pulling back that bow to the shoulder or further. And it may be that you wobble right off and you go to your side forward bend before now. Otherwise we drop it down, soft knees, let go of the head and neck. Take that foot to the side of the mat because you're perhaps a little bit in. And then step it in into your crouch. Take the left arm up. Bring it down. Inhaling, opening out. Exhale. And this is towards the end, so just nice and slowly bring that back to at all fours. Spread the fingers. Find a nice long tabletop. Find that balance. And then sit it back into child pose. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the flow going along with me. So if you want to, you can just kind of keep going through that, going through the balances, or just work those postures on their own.